Hey parents, are you dreading having to talk about the birds and the bees with your teen? Let somebody they trust handle the job. From the makers of Mario Teaches Typing comes Mario Teaches Sex Education.
Let's talk about the sex with me, Mario!
Everyone's favorite plumber's here to talk about the ins and outs of the ins and outs.
Trust Mario, he knows his way around the plumbing.
Yes sir, Mario covers all the hot topics with today's teens, including pregnancy.
Babies don't come from a lakitu, that's why Mario always wraps his mushroom.
Hygiene.
Boys never wipe from back to front, you don't want a stinky Goombas.
And STDs.
Mario never dive down a straight pipe without checking for a piranha plant first.
Why, he even has tips for those experimental stages.
Doesn't matter if it's a Princess Peach or a princess with a toadstool, always use proper lubrication before you ride your partner like a Yoshi.
Take it from one parent to another. Mario's the only plumber qualified to talk to your teens about sex.
Mario is an amateur gynecologist.
Mario Teaches Sex Education is yours today for 3 easy payments of $19.99. But wait, there's more. Keep listening for an all-new episode of Nerds on Tap Podcast. Is the name Nerds on Tap Podcast, or is podcast just what it is?
Why don't you give me a fresh beer? You serious?
Welcome back to Nerds on Tap, the podcast where all of our secret families have also been led to believe that we're superheroes, so we don't have to be around as often. My name is Jim.
I'm Chris.
I'm Joseph.
And as always, we're going to be talking about nerdy stuff, drinking some beer, and we have a guest with us today, Mr. Ian and Anderson. He's a dude.
Hey.
He does some stuff.
Yo.
We had him on for a bunch of reasons. We'll get to that. He seems to be a big nerd in my community of nerds, so we'll be talking about that probably. But do we have a short topic? No, we don't. Okay, let's just talk about beer. I guess we don't. Sure. Let's just get this rolling, or we could talk about Ian.
Let's talk to Ian. Let's talk to Ian first.
Hey Ian, so you're a dork.
This is where he hangs up on us.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you. I'm done. I contacted this dude because there is a local game store called the Meadery Hall. Meadery? No, that's not what it's called. The Mead Hall and Games. This is great. This is great.
We don't know your name. You're a dork, and we don't know what you do.
We really are rusty.
How did you get on the show?
Let's never take a hiatus again. I happen to be in the Minneapolis area, and I decided to check out some of the local game stores. And I went to the Mead Hall and Games, which is the proprietor is with us today. He does a bunch of other nerd type stuff for around here. Let's talk about it. What do you do, buddy? What makes you a dork and nerd?
Well, the shop I started and own is called Mead Hall Games and Comics. It's in Loring Park, which is a super sweet neighborhood in downtown Minneapolis. And I started with my buddy Alex Bose about 3 years ago, and it had super humble aspirations of an excuse for us to get booster boxes for cheap and get half off comics, and it was all of 250 square feet, and we started it and people started showing up, Lord knows why, and they kept coming back, and we just kept expanding the shop, and eventually it's now kind of where it is today. We're actually in the middle of expanding it more. By the end of the summer we're going to be opening up a whole nother wing is not the right word, but it's more space.
Right.
And it started off sort of as a magic joint, so there's tons of MTG all the time, but it evolved now as just games, tabletop games all over the place, as well as magic. It's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those places where you have to know where it is. more or less kind of get to it?
It's like a secret. Yeah.
It's like behind a building, and you have to go down some stairs.
There's like a password and like a.
Yeah.
It looked like there would have been like you have the nice like wood sign out there, and I felt like I went in there, and I was actually as small as it is. You guys had a crazy selection of stuff. I was actually pretty impressed with.
Thank you.
You had the one, like pretty much the one wall in the center thing, but what you actually had on the shelf, I was like, I'd buy that, I'd buy that, I'd buy
Sweet.
that. Yeah.
All right.
So.
People are doing their jobs. Sounds good.
It was such a secret. It was such a secret that Jim forgot the name of it immediately.
Yeah. No, I don't.
There's this place. It's at the end of
go there again.
Around a corner from.
I really hope you have one of those little old-fashioned slots on the door where you have to like pull it open. You just see a pair of eyes staring out.
We've actually made jokes to do that like before.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
There was an idea for a long time, and this was a completely stupid idea, but there was an idea. We had this like sort of closety room that we weren't using, and we were joking that we were going to like put a TARDIS, like we make a TARDIS out of the door, and so you'd open up the TARDIS door, and then you'd go into a bigger room, and so it's this bigger on the inside, and the joke is we were going to have a slot right there.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, password.
Bad Wolf.
Yeah, that's probably what it would have to be.
Oh my god. My wife and I talked about doing like someday when we get a house, doing some sort of room, disguising it as like a TARDIS, like on the outside. It'll probably be a bathroom, knowing me.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not? Spend most of your
That's where
time.
I spend most of my time. Yeah.
Ooh,
You know me so well, Jim.
This beer is not very good.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I'm disappointed. Oh,
That's awesome.
That's usually how the show
we'll
starts.
Yeah. We'll talk some more about some of the other stuff you have going on. I know you have your Magic Card. Was it like a Magic Card social media project?
Mead Hall Games is a store. It's a physical place that you can go.
I've been there.
Yeah, and then from there, well, like when we launched our website, we wanted to create sort of like a cool forums area that was sort of forumsy, but sort of had a little bit more to it. And we made this sort of, it was terrible. It was like 2002 MySpace, and
nice.
But it did the trick where people could connect and find each other and play games and connect and do trades and whatnot. And people it was sort of designed just for Mead Hall, but over time, folks started signing up from all over the place, and so we kind of looked at each other like, "Oh shit, we should probably like make this a site." And so the Meadery was kind of the joke name that came out of Mead Hall, kind of like the brewery of the Mead Hall, so you could brew decks and whatnot. And then it just sort of stuck, and now it's like its own separate entity and like its very own little juggernaut. It's a social media site, so it's like Twitter or Facebook, but it's only about Magic. So no pictures of like pasta that I had yesterday or like babies. It's just like, check out this sweet foil Tarmogoyf, which we have seen a couple times. But yeah, it's been really awesome.
Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Now there are a lot of shops in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Was that ever a concern were you pretty much just kind of making a shop for you and your friends, or were you concerned that you wouldn't be able to carve out some of the the market or whatever? Because there are some pretty decent stores.
Twin Cities is like one might argue that it's like oversaturated with excellent shops. There is never a lack of great places to play Magic any night of the week. We're all really lucky. And when we started the shop, we didn't really call ourselves a shop. Like when we first started, I mean, our first few months of FNMs were me and 7 buddies getting hammered and playing Magic very loudly in the shop that was not really that open. If anyone came in, we'd all be very surprised and yell and but
scare them off.
And everyone's like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
like, get the broom, get them out, get them out.
We got one.
So it was this. It had no real aspirations of greatness. It just started as a way for us to have a space that was our own. It was kind of like a clubhouse, to be honest. And then people started coming, and it was hard to ignore. And so we had to make it a legitimate establishment. So that's how we got to where we are now.
Very cool.
Nice.
Now the one more thing before we get to the beers. I have to quote on your about of your Facebook page. It says the Will Wheaton of Twin Cities, the Leslie Knope of the gaming world.
Yeah.
So are you your own hype man, or did someone else come up with that?
I've been made fun of a lot in my life. No, and the Will Wheaton and the Leslie Knope jokes have been aplenty over the last 3 or 4 years. So the Will Wheaton joke, supposedly the origin is I used to be known for something else. Like I was a musician and did a lot of music stuff growing up, and that was sort of like my career trajectory. And then all of a sudden I didn't really do much of that anymore. I became a music supervisor, so I stopped being like on a stage and like schmoozing with people. I became kind of behind a computer wearing headphones kind of guy. And so I became far less public, and then I started doing nerd stuff and became more public doing that. And so people make jokes that like Will Wheaton, he used to be Wesley Crusher and now he's known for game stuff. That was sort of the joke. That was actually a longer explanation than I anticipated. But that was where it came from. And Will Wheaton rules, so I wear it with a badge of honor. And then the Leslie Knope thing is I really like to organize things, and I'm really enthusiastic. And so I like
binders.
I'm like a big spreadsheet guy. Like
Nice.
where she's a binder lady, I'm a spreadsheet dude. I like to organize communities, and so the gamer community, the Magic community was sort of a big thing where I really liked to get people together and play a lot. And so it's kind of that avenue went into the Mead Hall direction, and then eventually the Meadery direction, where it's just like trying to connect folks from all over the place. And that was my Leslie Knope joke.
Right. I definitely aspire to be more of a Ron Swanson, but I know I'm definitely a Ben Wyatt. Now, Chris, you could relate to the music stuff a little bit.
Yeah, I was a musician for a long time too, and likewise, I just stopped doing stuff.
Yeah,
and then I did a whole lot of nothing for a while.
Oh, that's good.
Now I'm doing nerd stuff. Yeah.
That's good. Music's hard. Well, anything's hard, but it's the music is a definite grind, and like the concept of making it is so interesting because everybody has a band, and like some people are good at it, some people are not, and I was okay, but I wasn't like going to become huge. Right. So at some point you just have to sort of like figure out where you want to be in that world, and like I said, I was just sort of better behind a computer with headphones on.
Right. I kind of reached that point too where like I'm out on stage and stuff, and I realize I'm like, I am anxious as fuck. I do not want to be in front of all these people. So I'm like, okay, I don't think the playing in a band thing's for me. I'm more of a like would rather just record my own stuff on my own time.
Yep.
At my own will kind of thing. So
yeah, that's the way to go for sure.
Of course, Chris, you're just a drummer, so who cares?
I can play guitar too, I promise.
Well, at least you're not a bass. At least you're not a bassist. So
that's true. Nobody likes a bassist.
All right, so this right. So this is Nerds on Tap. The on tap part comes from our friend beer. We all drink beers.
I like that. Beer.
So Chris, you're gonna get to start. What are you drinking, buddy?
Shit. All right,
you're drinking shit. I don't advise that.
Brewed fresh from the bathroom. I'm drinking Summit Frostline Rye. So Summit is a Minnesotan beer.
That is true.
Yes, and let's see. This guy pours kind of a dark reddish color, and smells good. Smells a little hoppy. Nice short little tan foam going on. It's very good. It's got some now that I think about it, I was wondering this when I bought this too, is that I can't pin down a specific time I've had a rye beer before. I'm sure I have because I've got like shit tons of bottle caps collected from each beer I've had, but this is the first time I've consciously had a rye beer. It's really good. This is way more than I expected. So it's hard for me to compare it to anything else since I don't know what to compare it to, but it's fucking delicious. So I pretty much like anything from Summit, so I might be a little biased, but this is really good. So I recommend.
Sweet.
I'm just gonna keep drinking this beer.
All right, Joseph, what you pouring?
All right, I've got the original, let me bring it back a little bit, Pretzel Stout from Martin House, and they are a Fort Worth, Texas brewery, my hometown. So I'm biased, but let me try it. It's very dark, pours like a almost black. It's like it's very heavy. It's like coffee-ish, but there's a bread taste to it. You can kind of taste pretzel in there. Maybe after I drink a bit more, I'll convince myself there's pretzel in there, and I'll be happier.
Or just give up and just crush pretzels into it.
Fuck it.
So when I walk away in the middle of the episode, I've gone to get pretzels.
Speaking
Just
of pretzels and beer, has anyone else ever done this? I used to work with a guy who, whenever he had a beer, he would always pour a little bit of salt on top before he would start drinking.
Oh.
I've never seen anyone else do that, but I've never tried it, but it kind of sounds like it might be good. Let me give it
Worth a shot.
Yeah, salty beer. Who knows?
Salty beer.
My mother-in-law put salt on pizza, and I don't know why.
No.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
do.
I don't
Salt
know.
on pizza?
Yeah, she'll salt her pizza,
You people are crazy.
and
What
then
about black
she'll have
pepper?
heart disease.
My wife puts black pepper on her pizza.
Your wife has the weirdest taste buds ever. I'm not even kidding you. Seriously, her food eating habits frustrate me. They shouldn't. Like, it doesn't affect me at all. And just I hear about how I'm just like, God damn it, Jackie, just eat it. So I got the only reason I picked this beer is because it had a cool fish on it, and I was like, that's a cool fish. I like the art, and I guess all of their beers have fish on them, but this is a Ballast Point. They're out of San Diego, California. This is the Calico Amber Ale, and it poured really nicely. It had a good head. It's just got kind of like your American hops, a little bit of yeast. It's kind of your typical ale. It's not bad. It smells pretty hoppy, but then you get into it and it's not as bitter as you think it would be, so that's not bad. I don't know. I like it because of the fish on the front mostly.
I like that. That's why you picked the beer. You're like, that's cool fish.
Yeah, I was just picking a 6-pack, and then I'm drinking it out of my my 2005 Berry Weiss mason jar.
Nice. I like it.
Now, Ian, we already know your beer tastes like crap.
I want to know what he's drinking and why it
So
tastes like crap.
it's Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
Oh, yeah,
And,
say no more.
I actually am a fan of Leinenkugels in general. They're a
Yep.
Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin company, which is about 50 minutes away from where I live, and it's usually they kick ass, but this is it says an adventurous taste, perfect for summertime fun, and I was thinking, well, this is perfect for my needs right now, and it's so lemony. It's just like lemon with
Someone dunked some beer in
beer,
some
lemon.
Yeah, I just recently tried the grapefruit one, and no.
No, this is a bad idea. I mean, this is a very popular beer. Like the Summer Shandy is like a thing.
It is.
And like, I bought this beer for it was my turn to bring beer to my hockey team's hockey game the other night, and I bought a bunch of this, and everyone was like loving it. And so I was like, oh, I'll just try this for the podcast, and I'm gonna drink it. I mean, it's gonna be gone. Right? You're wrong.
You don't not drink beer.
So it's not
I mean,
like that bad where I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh no, never. But
it's not
it's
Keystone Light.
well, I mean, we've all had Keystone Light nights. But yeah, I would recommend getting other Leinenkugel's beer.
Yeah, I was going to my in-law. No, I was going to my dad's house, and he's adamant about not putting fruit in beer. And so I bought the grapefruit and brought it to his house just to piss him off. And then I was like, it backfired because it tasted terrible.
He was right all along.
Yeah.
My wife's uncle works for Leinenkugels, so this past Christmas they always have a shit ton of Leinenkugels in their fridge. I mean, cases and cases. So they're like, oh, here, just take one and go. And took one home, and everything in it was great except they had an old-fashioned shandy. And holy crap, I took a drink of that and like spit it out. Like it was like an old-fashioned cartoon, like
Like a spit take.
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, not cool.
If you want a
yeah.
if you want a good lemon shandy, do Travelers. They're a Vermont company, and I love their beer.
That's the one with the mustache on it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I
That
saw
one's
you
pretty
when
good.
you started repping that, and then all of a sudden I started seeing like national commercials for that brand. Like
Really?
they're growing. Yeah.
It was all because of me. You're welcome.
Yeah, it
boy.
was our show.
Ahead
Yeah.
of the curve.
I believe
Yeah.
it. I liked it before it was cool.
Oh my god, you. beer
Adjust your
hipster.
glasses. All right, now to the next part of Nerds on Tap. We don't prepare topics ahead of time because we're stupid. We would rather it be picked at random from a master list so we can stumble upon through it and be a bunch of ums and ahs and a bunch of other crap you don't want to hear, rather than being a professional podcast that would prepare and know what we're talking about beforehand. Now, usually with a guest, we'll give them the option to see the list beforehand. Ian here. Ian here.
You're just gonna keep calling him Ian
I know.
now, aren't you?
Ian here scoffed at the idea of seeing the list beforehand.
I
so
did scoff,
we're just gonna
audibly.
roll with it.
Yeah, just gonna roll with it.
All right.
What's our topic, Chris?
We have hang on, my Skype window is blocking half of it. Okay. Shit, I'm sorry. Hang on. I closed out of it. Cue the sound thing.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Okay, we got video games adapted from movies
Oh,
as our topic. So they were movies first, and then
Okay.
video games were made from them.
Okay.
so we're gonna just dive right into Top Gun, right?
Well, I guess that's where you want to go.
That's
We can go
immediate. Right, the first
Why
thing
don't you
I thought of.
start us off then? Ian,
Was
aka
that
Ian.
for Super NES? Might
that was regular NES.
even been just regular.
I think there was a Super later, but I know the first one was NES.
I played it. I wasn't aware of what was good or bad at that time in my life, and so I pretty much loved the thing. Top Gun there were F-14 Tomcats and stuff, and you could do barrel rolls. I think
Before barrel rolls were
confusing
cool.
Star Fox, which was not a movie, sadly.
That
Holding
would have
out
been amazing.
holding out for that one still. Top Gun was excellent. There was very little Tom Cruise in it though, and even less Val Kilmer. So at the ripe old age of 9, maybe it was very disappointing.
Wouldn't it have been great in that game if once you beat a level, you got like a 8-bit version of the volleyball scene?
Yes,
It'd be boop, boop. Or all like, and then you beat another one, and then you get like an 8-bit rendition of them all singing that "Love and Feeling" in the bar or something.
yeah,
Oh man, missed opportunities there.
missed opportunity. So that's the first one that came to mind. But there's also the big ET shenanigan thing.
Of
That's probably the
course.
most famous one, right?
Of
Yeah,
course.
because that game almost killed the industry, like completely.
Well, I mean, the game it came out at a time where Atari was like, "Oh yeah, we'll sell that many. Let's just make that many," and then it just,
Right.
I mean, killed. I mean, I wouldn't say that the game was responsible for it. It was a perfect example of their opulence and being like, "Yeah, we can sell that many units," and then just shit them all out. And
I really
remember
want to
having
play
that
it.
too.
That'd be awesome to play.
I haven't played it. No, I do have an Atari 2600. But yeah, I think I played an emulator one time, and it's just like beep boop boop, fall down a hole. Oh, this is fun.
Exactly. You fall in a hole, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're done. Yeah, I remember having that. We had that as a kid. My dad had an Atari, and like I remember trying to play it, and I just couldn't figure anything out, and I would get really frustrated, and then just play Pong.
It was like a lot of those games for the Atari, like they just kind of like if the game was a pool, it was someone just shoving you in, and you just kind of go, okay, well I move this dot, and then something happens if I go over here.
Well, there's only 2 buttons. One of them's got to do something good. Video games made from movies. Friday the 13th is the first one that comes to mind for me because I love that game. It's so bad. It's good because you're like 5 or 6 counselors and you essentially try to go and save kids with, you have a rock and Jason doesn't have a knife or anything. It's like Mike Tyson's Punch Out when you encounter this purple Jason with a blue mask for whatever reason.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
They made a figure of that. They made a figure of
I
the
know.
purple Jason. With the
I need
blue
to get
mask.
it. I should have worn that shirt today. Had I known If our topics weren't random, that's what I would have worn. But when you walk into a house to save kids, Jason will sometimes appear there and it's like boom, 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 and he's like holding up his fists, like punching you, and you're trying to throw rocks at him. You can get other shit, but I've never beaten the game because it's ridiculously hard and it's stupid. So one day.
I know the one that I rented because when I was a kid, my favorite movie for the longest time was Terminator 2.
Oh yeah,
because it was like my parents took me to see that in a drive-in when it came out. It was a double feature, and it was the Kevin Costner Robin Hood, which I fell asleep during, and then I woke up during the beginning part when the playground was on fire. So I literally woke up and that was on the screen. I was just like,
Whoa, Robin Hood's
holy
awesome.
shit!
Robin Hood is awesome.
Yeah. So that was my favorite movie. I remember renting that so many times. They asked me to stop, just like stop renting it. The other people want to see it. But I totally remember renting the Terminator 2 game for NES and it being so bad and terrible. And then me using the Game Genie and then trying to beat it. But then when you get to the end, you can't beat it with the Game Genie because it ruins the code or whatever. And then being really disappointed. But that game was so bad and so hard to play. And a lot of those, like especially because I'm pretty sure that was an LJN adaptation, and it just.
Of course, because all of theirs are just. Ugh.
The funny thing is that when you said games adapted out of movies, the first one I thought of for some reason was the fact that they made a Street Fighter game based on the Street Fighter movie that was based on the video game.
So meta.
The weirdest like Russian nesting dolls thing. So weird.
I was trying
that
to
game
remember.
Also terrible.
I was trying to remember the first one that I played besides the ET thing, and I can't even remember if this is a real thing or if I just dreamt this up or mashed a bunch of thoughts together. But was there a Home Alone one for Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
'Cause I vaguely remember playing that and loving the hell out of it. I don't remember if it's any good, but yeah, that's my story.
No, there totally was a Home Alone 2 game. I remember getting all excited, reading about it in Nintendo Power. There was this time when I didn't have a Super Nintendo, and Nintendo Power, that's all they were starting to talk about was Super Nintendo games. So I would get really excited about a game and then be like, I'm going to get this game. It's for Super Nintendo. Shit. And you'd get really, really angry. Which is why I was super excited about Battletoads Double Dragons, because that came out for both.
Yeah.
Which is
Battletoads. It sounds like none of us had good experiences with video games based upon movies.
I can't.
One that I can remember is Toy Story. That was a fun video game, and it was a good video game.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I rented that one time too, and that was fun. I think that one I was blown away by how close the graphics looked to the actual movie. You know?
Yeah.
My God. Because they kind of did that 3D rendered, but then in 2D, like Donkey Kong Country, that kind of technology.
Right, yeah. So I think for the most part, whenever I see a game's based off of a movie, I usually avoid it because I just figure it's going to be a piece of shit. I think because most of the ones I played back in the day were, not great. So,
you guys ever play any Aliens video games?
I never did. No.
Yeah, they're really challenging.
That was for Sega Genesis.
I think the first one, yeah.
I remember playing that and remembering that was pretty cool. It was scary. It was scary.
Yeah, like a lot of atmosphere in that one. Yeah.
I don't remember if it was bad or good, but it existed, and I was there for it.
What about has anyone played a game based off of a TV show or like a cartoon or something like that?
Well, there's Pokemon.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's the Simpsons game a long time ago. They had a couple of Simpsons games, didn't they? Or was that like I think it was kind of like a Mario Party kind of thing, right? Where it was like different mini games in one.
There's been so many Simpsons games. Nintendo had a ton. I had a bunch of them. Yeah, Nintendo had like a Bart's Nightmare, which was a great game actually. It was really cool. It was really fucking hard, but looked cool. The one for normal Nintendo, I can't remember what that one was called, but it was like the aliens were invading and you had to save Springfield from aliens, and that one was really tough. I never beat it, so I don't know if it was a good game or not.
they were gonna you had to paint everything purple because they didn't like purple.
Yeah,
or
yes,
something?
exactly. You had a spray paint can, and that was your thing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happening.
It's coming back.
That's happening.
It's all coming back.
I was trying to think of ones that were good. I remember Spider-Man 2 game for PlayStation 2 was awesome. I loved that game. That game was fun.
That was a good game.
And then, of course, we were forgetting about all the good Star Wars games.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
That's a
Super
movie.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Super Star
all
Wars.
of those. And yeah, I mean, Rogue Squadron, all that stuff.
Rogue Squadron was so good. I played the crap out of that.
I'm so bad at it. I'm so bad at it.
I was super into X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah,
That was like,
same here.
I spent like an ungodly number of hours. I bought a joystick like specifically for that game. Like I was so into it.
Man, speaking of, I'm going to jump a little bit to the left and say, did you guys see the Battlefront trailer
Yes.
from E3?
I'm so
I haven't
excited for
yet.
Battlefront.
Oh,
Man,
it looks so good.
I want to watch it, but it's just gonna disappoint me because I'm not gonna be getting a new console anytime soon.
Save
so like,
up, man. It's not till November, I think.
I know, and it's like the same with the Batman Arkham Knight looks so goddamn good.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, you wanna
It's coming out
punch a baby.
2 weeks or something.
Yeah, and that one I would wait till the Game of the Year edition anyway because they're DLCing the shit out of it. But yeah, so I haven't watched the Battlefront trailer yet because I'm afraid that I'll sell one of my kids.
Yeah. Watch the Battlefront trailer if you don't have children on the line because it is amazing.
It's great. We still play Battlefield 2 a lot over here.
Battlefront?
Like that one.
Yeah,
Battlefront 2. That's my wife's favorite game for Xbox. We still play that. In fact, we had some people over maybe like 3 weeks ago, and we spent our night getting drunk, playing BioShock, and then instead saying, fuck this, we're playing Battlefront 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
I spent the rest of the
Do
night playing that.
you guys do Galactic Invasions?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That's my favorite. I do that like once a year at least. I'm like, you know what? I need to invade a galaxy. And
It's that time of the year again.
yeah, time to bust out my sniping storm or my scout trooper, snipe some people, and bring out Darth Vader.
There's not a lot of games I used to play online, but that was one of them, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, remember. I think so. What was the last? What do you guys think is the last good? I mean, I guess not good. Do you guys remember the last game you played that was based on a movie? I'm trying to think of like the last one. I think I figured out my last one. I think it was the Ghostbusters video game that I finally got around to playing.
Does Batman count?
Yes and no.
I mean, it's a comic book, so I guess.
Yeah. Those are definitely more adapted from the comics.
Right.
I guess I really enjoyed. The name is escaping me now. This summer Shandy is going right through me. The Lord of the Rings game.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's based on a movie, based on a book, but based on a crazy person's mind. But that was really good. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I liked the concept of if you fail, you are going up against a stronger opponent next time, and every time you succeed, another orc takes his place, and there's like this power struggle. And like, did any of you guys play this game? It was nuts.
Yeah,
It was really cool. But yeah, that would be my last sort of based on a movie thing. However, but like I said, that would count as a book, sort of, because it was
that one's definitely based on the Peter Jackson
interpretation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll count it.
Sweet. Woo.
What about the Batman Returns game?
Oh yeah, for Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game's awesome. That's one of the better beat 'em ups. Definitely, I have a lot of fun playing that one. I remember I rented that too when I was a kid, and I played the first level over and over because I'm terrible at those games. But I had fun doing it that weekend, and then I found it. I actually have it. I played it a couple times, and it's super fun.
Nice.
I like how big the sprites are in that game. Like sometimes you play those beat 'em ups, and it's like everyone's really tiny, and it's like, But that one you feel like you're tall, and like when those big head guys come and on the motorcycle and you got to kick them and stuff. It's just really satisfying stuff.
That just reminded me of when that movie came out. I remember having one of those little handheld tiger games of Batman Returns where you're
Yep.
in the Batmobile and you're like driving around trying to
Yeah, I
dodge
totally had that.
all that shit.
Totally fucking had that.
Yeah. I love that thing. I played with it so much.
I have a whole collection of Tiger games, and I
Really?
wish they were the ones from my childhood. But those pretty much, you play them and you play them so hard they disintegrate. But there was a good string of Goodwill runs where I just kept fucking finding them, and now I have like a stack like this, and they're fun to play for like 2 minutes, and you go, "Wow, cool, a Rocketeer." Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Did
And
you
I just
guys?
I just remember like before I had a Game Boy, like playing those for hours. And it's like, what was I doing with my life? Sitting there
Right.
playing with the LCD, beep boop boop beep boop, like doing go up and down 3 times.
Not even
just for
backlit.
hours. Yeah.
Shame. Did you guys ever play The Thing? John Carpenter's The Thing. On,
Yeah, I was just thinking about that
I
game.
think it was PS2.
I never played
Yeah,
it, but I was
never
wished
got
I
a
did.
chance either. Yeah. Look, I heard it was good.
Yeah, I've never played it either. I just remember it. So we remember it fondly, though, right? Like we remember that we've
Yeah.
heard that it's good. That's good
the
enough,
idea-
right?
That's good enough.
I remember
Just
reading about it and fantasizing about playing it and it being really good, but I never played it. So
We've dreamed of it being good. That's
Yeah.
what counts.
The thing.
is Kurt Russell in that? Is there a digitalized Kurt Russell beard in that?
Probably. I don't know.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
Is there an 8-bit Top Gun beach scene in there?
Right?
I'm
There
going-
isn't. So I'm
That's what we're
not
really
interested.
I'm going to speculate yes because I know no better.
As long as in that game Keith David plays Keith David, then I'm cool with it because Keith David's fucking awesome.
Everything, all of your wishes, yes. I'm going to say yes because I can't prove otherwise.
All right, I'm gonna go on Amazon right now.
All of your wishes, yes.
And you should review it on Amazon without having ever played it and mention
Right.
all these things.
I can't do
Mention
that anymore.
mention the beach
Amazon
ball
won't-
scene.
Yep. I think
The
you should
beach
tag
scene
it
was my favorite.
inspiring.
No, it totally sucks. Amazon won't let you review stuff unless you've bought it through them.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
verified
stupid.
purchase
When did that
thing
start?
now.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So buy it and then lie.
Okay, so I could get it on Amazon
Don't
for
play it
$50.
No.
after buying it.
$50?
And I'll go to the used. Okay, used I get it for like $3.
Great.
There you go. That's the way. Buy it, make the review, return it without ever playing.
Loophole.
Just love digital Keith David.
It's the best volleyball game scene in a video game I've ever seen.
Someone should remake an 8-bit version of Top Gun and do it right.
And just do it right. I'll start,
You know
a,
what else
kick,
they
I'll start a
should do?
Kickstarter. Let's just do
That's
it.
a really good idea. Just make every 80s movie that never got a video game like and 90s. So like Kazam.
Mm.
Well, we already have Shaq Fu.
You know what? I bet there is a
Shaq
Kazam
Fu.
video game, and we just don't know. Space Jam. Wasn't there a video game for Space Jam?
I don't think there was.
I don't think they made
remember
a
one.
video game for Space
Oh,
Jam.
that franchise is
that would've been great.
primed.
That would be so easy. It would just be NBA
so
Jam with different skins.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you can have Bill Murray and
Yeah. Oh, he'd
George.
come back to do the
No,
voiceovers.
there was a Space Jam video game. I'm
Okay,
looking
so I'm
at
not crazy.
it was on at least it was on PlayStation 1.
Oh.
You know what? I bet it was decent. I bet it was.
I bet you it probably was fun, yeah.
Did Jordan put his stamp of approval on it? Is he on the cover?
He's in it, yeah, he's on it.
Yeah, so it's probably all right. I appreciate
And
the Jordan brand.
It looks exactly like NBA Jam, so
Nice. I like
fun.
how our review of games based on, or was it movies based on games? I've lost track. What were we doing?
Games based
Games
on
based
movies.
on-
Games based on movies.
Where
Yeah,
are we?
I like how that review has turned into us speculating about. I bet that was a great game. You know what? I bet it had this feature. Oh
That should be
yeah,
a topic one of these days. Games we think might have been cool.
Games you think might be cool.
and that we've made better through speculation.
Right.
that's hilarious. Yeah, Space Jam video game was on PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and
Ooh,
computers.
Sega Saturn. Yeah.
No wonder I never played it.
But it looks like it'd be on a cartridge because they're, very cartoony graphics.
Here's one: GoldenEye 007.
Boom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
Oh.
GoldenEye totally counts.
That
Perfect.
has anyone ever said they didn't like that game? That's just what I want to ask.
We had an episode last where we kind of talked about how it's not that great.
Well, it doesn't hold up, but
just-
that's
Yeah.
because we're fucking
I mean-
spoiled now.
Yeah, we really are. I
At
mean,
the time, it was great.
can you imagine if they did a GoldenEye remake that had the ability to play with friends and you do multiplayer and then the same levels, like exactly the same characters and the same guns, just amped up.
Not
looking
like
amazing.
that remake they did make, which I actually did like that game, but that's because I'm weird.
They did do a remake?
Yeah.
Whoa, when?
It came out for the Wii first, and then it came out. They did a PlayStation 3 version.
Oh, so
the
this
maps
is
are
like super long ago.
no.
This was like
but
in the last couple of years.
what they did is they upgraded it with Daniel Craig, so they changed the story a little bit to make it more like the Daniel Craig Bond, which whatever. And the multiplayer was fun, and the levels are inspired by the old levels, so they are different. But I don't know. Like I said before and earlier in the show, I don't play games online that much. I played the fucking bejesus out of that game because it's the only first-person shooter I've ever been good at.
As
And
long
that's all
as
because of the motion controls.
as long as they kept the vent above the toilet in that one level, because
Yep.
that was my hiding place.
That's the only place I
That was
had.
everyone's
Proximity
hiding
mine
place.
right
Yep.
there. And you're good to go. I actually played GoldenEye about a month ago on I was gonna say modern television, but the television has been made in the last 5 years, and it hurt my eyes and
Yeah.
I got like motion sick and everything.
Yeah,
But I
it
kept
fucks it up.
playing because it was awesome.
It's awesome.
Like oof.
Best way to get
Yeah.
motion sickness.
Yeah, I recommend if you're gonna get motion sick, go to GoldenEye.
Get it playing GoldenEye.
Yeah. You got to keep those tube TVs around. We just put a tube TV and a VCR in my 3-year-old's room.
Nice.
So he's like totally the coolest 3-year-old in 1989 now.
Oh, I need to get one.
He's
Well, when
gonna-
you go to Goodwill and they have 10 VHS for $1.99 and they have like every Disney movie ever, you're just like, fuck yeah. Like we went back today because we bought Lady and the Tramp, which he had never seen, but he has a book about it and he loves the book. So we grabbed it and Katie didn't check the case. So she went to put it in and it was a tape, like a blank tape that she said was filled with Dr. Phil episodes. So we had to go back. We went back
Gold
today.
mine.
Yeah, right? I'm going to go through it. I told him, like, wouldn't it be hilarious if, like, in the middle of that, there was,
Could've
like, a
been
weird
worse.
sex tape?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Anyway, so we went back, and then I actually scored the Batman Mask of the Phantasm on VHS. So
it was
Nice.
actually a porno called Lady is a Tramp.
Lady is a tramp. I like it.
I'll go through, like, 20 minutes of Dr. Phil, and then boom.
Oh man, that is.
You need to start living as a gay woman.
Your son's gonna go to school and be like, "Hey, did anybody watch the VHS tape of this?" Or like, "What the fuck is a VHS?" Kids,
Yeah, right.
that's how kindergartners talk. What the fuck is that?
he saw Toy Story for the first time, and it was on VHS. I was pretty proud.
I like it.
Well,
Awkward silence.
yeah,
Awkward silence.
Video games?
Probably time to move on.
yeah.
We exhausted this topic. I think we have. I think our listeners are done.
There's only so many games made.
Yeah, I mean, like we. There are two we didn't cover. The Disney-based ones, so like Aladdin.
Oh shit,
and-
Aladdin's a great
Aladdin,
game.
yes.
Yeah. Which Aladdin did you prefer? Because both of them were different on
They were
Sega
different.
and the Super Nintendo were different.
I don't remember two of them.
It was the same game, but the levels are different. Some of the, like in the Sega one, Aladdin has a sword, where in the Super Nintendo one he doesn't have shit. He just throws apples and that's it. But I have to say I prefer the Super Nintendo one just because that's the one I played the most. So I played the Sega one because a friend of mine's older brother had it, but I grew up on the Super Nintendo one, and I still play that one. I went back and played it several months ago, and it holds up. It's really good. So
Speaking of Sega, I just was looking over at my my rack of vintage games, and I forgot about one that I really, really like. The RoboCop versus Terminator.
Oh
game.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Another game where I was appreciative of how big the sprites were and how big the characters were on screen instead of being tiny little guys or like big meaty, you're RoboCop and you're shooting people in the face.
Wasn't
Remember,
there?
I think the. I was just gonna say, I think the Aladdin one was done by Capcom, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it Capcom?
Yeah, because Capcom had a long-standing. Wait, was that one Capcom or was that
They have
Activision?
they have a deal with Disney.
I know Capcom did for a while. Yes, back that goes back to the NES days with DuckTales and all those games.
You could always tell like Capcom game too, because there's just something about like the backgrounds of the levels that are just, they had like a certain style to them that they had in like all of those games at the time, and it was just, I don't know, from being a graphic designer, like I love how those games look still.
Here's the difference. The Disney's Aladdin, the one for Genesis, was actually made by Virgin Interactive, and the one for Super Nintendo was made by Capcom.
There we go.
Yeah. Which I actually didn't know. That's interesting to me.
There was
But yeah,
also. Ooh, I keep interrupting, but I'm gonna take it this time. It's my turn. There was an Alien vs Predator video game too. Do you remember that for Super Nintendo?
I remember seeing.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing the arcade machine, but I don't remember playing the Super Nintendo one.
Did the Alien vs Predator movie then come from the video game?
Video game.
It might
No,
have
it came from the comic series.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they did.
Chris,
I
turn
refuse
in
to
your
believe
nerd
it.
card. Well, actually, that's where RoboCop versus Terminator came from too, because that was Frank Miller taking hold of the RoboCop after he got shit on twice when he when he wrote RoboCop and they destroyed it. And that's the show.
Time for plug stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, Chris, go ahead and say your piece, and then we'll talk about where you can find Ian on the interwebs.
Woo!
Yes. So, guys, if you like this episode, if you like anything we do, subscribe, comment, like, share, tweet.
And we're surprised.
Do all those noises. Yeah. Pretend we didn't ask you to do this. But I did want to thank real quick some of the people that have added us on social media within the last... whenever I put out that update, which I think was a week from when we recorded this. What the fuck? So on Facebook, Jeremy, thank you for adding us. Jeremy follows us on Twitter and always talks about our stuff with us, which is awesome to see you on Facebook as well, so we can connect with you more and get some more conversations going. So that's awesome. And then on Twitter, we've got David Miller, Patrick Starr, Love Your Boss, Chris Martinez, Shy Holly. Thank you, even though you're probably some sort of weird porn thing.
Yeah, that's definitely not her profile picture.
A Mysterious Pirate, Pythagatron, Voltron Ranger, Mega Ran. Thank you, everyone, for adding us on Twitter.
Was that of all time, or was that just this week? That's a lot of people.
That is from the last week or last week, just the last week.
Oh, sweet.
So
picking up traction.
Thank you, peoples. Thank you for giving me something to do on this episode. What is that?
What are you talking about?
For those listening and not watching, Jim's
No,
playing
you don't
Legos.
explain it to them. It's just so that people could start watching us on YouTube instead of only listening to us.
Don't you tell them.
Don't you tell them. Hey, Ian.
Yeah, that's me.
He's gonna
Where can
hate
we-
us.
where-
He's never gonna come back.
Ian, where can we find you on the internets?
On Twitter, my Twitter is @DreamBros. Pointing down.
Sorry, yeah, it's gonna be underneath your name.
Oh, right here.
Yes,
Okay, right.
Yep,
So
there it is.
@DreamBros. Also,
I like the flourish.
yeah, you can find me on the Meadery.org. TheMeadery.org. It's an
Because
org.
we have to.
Yeah, check it out. If you're into magic, that's kind of a good place to be. That's for sure. But yeah, thanks for inviting me to your podcast, guys. This was awesome. Too bad my beer was lackluster, but this was very entertaining, and I'm honored you invited me.
Yay!
Did you want to be in one more episode?
I'll come back anytime, that's for sure.
You want to come back in 5 minutes?
Do you need to do another one?
Jim, tell him what we're gonna do next.
Hey, so this is what we usually do. Now for part B, which
Oh, you
I
recorded
hope
2
you're still
episodes. Okay, I get it now.
Ah,
Putting it together. Don't get much past me.
Perfect. It's time for the Nerdocalypse. Chris, how about you explain? Because you've messed around. You said you've messed around with the rules a little bit. Are we changing things up slightly?
we can either start Nerdocalypse 2.0 today, or we can wait, whichever you guys want to do.
2.0.
Okay.
2.0.
So
I
what
don't
we
know
do
what
is
it is. I don't know what it is.
Oh my god.
I don't know what it is. It's just nothing more.
But I should know what it is. You're allowed. I'm not allowed to not know.
What we do is we have a list of tons and tons of characters from various nerdy media. So it could be movies, it could be cartoons, it could be comics, it could be real life people, but possibly imbued with superpowers that they don't actually have in real life, which I did add to this list this time, and you guys didn't know that, and it's funny. So anyway, what we do is we have this little generator that picks 2 of these characters. Sometimes it could be pairs, and we discuss who would win in a fight.
Oh.
Now, how we've done this before is we all just kind of take it in and we just kind of discuss it as a group. What we're going to do now is we're going to assign a person to, well, since Jim, if you were doing the hosting, you kind of get to play judge here, and you get to play devil. Basically, Joseph and I will both be assigned somebody. Ian, you get to pick who you want to side with. That's totally fine. And Jim, you have to fight for both sides and ultimately decide the winner of the battle. So
this is exciting.
Oh shit! Wait! One more. I need a little explanation. Since you're selecting them, Chris, do you get to pick who you want first, and I have to be devil's advocate for this one?
What I'll do is if you want, I will take the first name that pops up, and then you can take number 2.
Oh, great! Oh, I like that's sexy. Let's do it. This is gonna be fun.
So. And then if one of us gets someone that we don't know enough to talk about, we can swap, or Jim, you can swap in for one of us, and one of us can be the judge instead. So
Perfect.
So we're going to try this out. We haven't done this before. We'll see how this works.
Basically, it's just we're trying to get more direction in the Nerdocalypse section.
These episodes usually go way off the rails. And
they get a little meandering, yeah.
Sometimes we can't recover.
Yeah.
So it'll go off the rails anyway, but this will at least give us a little bit of a direction to go in. So, all right. So our people are, first one will be going to me. I have Earthworm Jim.
You son of a bitch. Okay. It can only get worse from there, but go on.
Yep,
Joseph. Oh, I'm kind of jealous of yours. Joseph, you have Jane Cobb from Firefly.
I don't know. I've never watched Firefly.
Oh my God! It comes out.
Yeah. All right. So,
do you want to swap?
No. Do random. Do another selection. You can keep Earthworm Jim because I want him in this, but I also want someone who I know.
Okay.
Seen Firefly.
What was the name of his his gun?
Vera.
Oh man,
call it Vera.
That was freaking funny.
Very
Joseph,
get dressed up nice. You get to play someplace fun.
Joseph, about General Grievous from Star Wars.
Oh, perfect. I'm all over it.
All right.
Earthworm Jim versus Grievous.
Earthworm Jim and Grievous. That's what we got.
Love it.
So that'll be the next episode.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for being on part A. We're gonna get to part B now. If you're ever in the Laurie Park, that's where it was, that neighborhood. Where is it?
Loring Park in downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah. If you're in that area, check it out. It's right by the convention center, isn't it?
Oh,
it is. It's very close.
Yeah. Oh, I should
cool beans. All right, so that's it. Drink like a nerd or something. What is that we say? I drink all my beer.
We say that sometimes.
See you guys next time.
Say your name, asshole.
Oh yeah. Hi, I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Ian.
Hey!
Hey.
Got it.
Cheers.
The first guys to do that, right?
Usually we just stare at you really awkwardly until you figure it out. Cheers, nerds. Sorry about the last episode.
Alfred, I need information from the back computer.
Master Bruce.
How goes the raid on Arkham?
I have these names, Chris, Jim, and Joseph. They call themselves Nerds on Tap.
It says here, sir, that they can be found on Twitter at nerds_on_tap and on Facebook and iTunes. They even have a YouTube channel with all the episodes as well as other content. I'm watching it right now. It's nerdy, but quite good, sir.
These three need to be brought to justice. I will rid Gotham of their nerdiness. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am the Batman.